Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Nitrostorm here. Welcome back to Tower of Fantasy. So, apologies, I've been a little bit busy lately, so I haven't been doing, I haven't done that many requests at the moment. So, for this video, I'll do something a bit special. This is more like kind of like a tutorial, but we also have a live example at the same time. So, I'll try and make sure that I don't edit that much, or probably no edits at all. It's going to be like a kind of like a walkthrough on how I create my characters without taking up too much time. So the example that we're going to be doing today, and I will be showing the ID at the end, is one of the requests. And in this case, we're going to be taking a look at Hajime Nagumo, who is the main protagonist of Arifureta. Now, obviously that's not the full name of the anime. It's much longer than that, as you can see here. But yeah, I don't remember if I've watched all the seasons or if I finished it or not, but I have seen it. And I haven't read the manga, just for those that are curious. In any case, let's go ahead and start. Oh, you could say this is a sneak peek. If you know who she is from the design that I've given, then she's technically one of the requests, but obviously we're making a male today, and that's going to be Hajime. So let me go quickly get some reference material from Google Images, and I'll be doing it side by side whilst I make the character. Alright, I got myself some sources, and so the first source that we're going to be using is for the outfit, as you can see there. So first of all, I'm going to choose one of the basic presets because you're not going to be able to start off with a preset like I have here. I mean, you can if you specifically download it, but for this video, we're going to start from the basic of the basic. So we'll try and see which one looks the closest to him. And from the looks of it, the basic one does the most. And then we'll just go with that. So we're going to start off with the outfit. So just by going through each and one of them, this one is a good contender for the outfit because of how the coat is designed. This one not this one not so much. This one not so much either. And this one would also work. I think I'll actually go with this one. Apologies for that, I had to clear my throat. But yeah, I think we'll go with this outfit. Now, the reason why I start with the outfit is mainly because it helps you grasp the design easier, and it starts the flow of you creating this character, as it'll give you more motivation because you're one step closer to creating the character you want to create. And the outfit is the easiest one to do, and so that's why I would normally recommend starting with the outfit. So obviously we're going to start off with a black coat. Now, as you can see from the design, there's a slight hint of red from it. So just experiment with the sliders until you get a good shade. And I believe this one has a pretty similar shade to the black that Hajime has on his coat. Next up, he's got brown like belting thing for the for the gun holsters. So I'm gonna go ahead and replicate that. And normally the best way to replicate brown is around number 4. And then this depends on how much color you want your brown to be, and obviously the brightness is how dark you want them, and this one's pretty good. Now, last but not least, the first color here. So as you can see, he's got red highlights on his outfit, and so making all of that 100 should be good enough. And there you go, that's his outfit done. Obviously, we'll add the eye patch here, but we'll add it last because I want to ensure that when you do take off the eye patch, he still looks like him, like he still has that likeness. So now let's start off with his body. So let me quickly check his height, because I actually... Okay, so he's 5'4". Oh, and then 5'7" after the time skip. So he's not the tallest guy, right? Which is fine. But yeah, let's go back to the there you go. But yeah, so he's not the tallest guy, so height 2 should be fine. Now, obviously, you could argue that he's height 1, right? Because, you know, but, you know, just let's make him medium height. Now, he's the palest as you can be, and I think this is the most pale thing. Now, in terms of his build, he's not really the most bulky guy, but he's not the least bulky guy either, so we'll keep it in the middle. I mean, in terms of the neck, it's kind of bugged for males right now. Only the second half is fixable, so we'll just keep it a medium. And then for the size of his head, it doesn't have that big of a head, so we'll just make it a bit smaller, make it medium. Now let's move on. So for the custom, if you take a look at all the options here, we can see that it's either this hair. Oh, actually, let's move on to the hair now. Let's do this one. So it's either this hair or this hair, and obviously you would argue right away that it's this one. So now let's take a look at the different reference material to see his hair color. So as you can see, it's not actually white and it's not actually gray. It's kind of like in the middle, and it's like a tint of color to it as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. In terms of the back of his head, you can see that there are spikes at the rear. It's not clean, so it's pretty messy. So we're gonna go ahead and take this option here. And now for the color. So obviously it's still white, right? So it's still bright, but there's a hint of like kind of, I would argue pink. So we're gonna go ahead and experiment with the brightness, right, to see if we can find the right coloring. And from the looks of it, I think this is it, right? So we'll give it 20. Give it a 20, right? Because it's not like showing that it's pink. You know, it's still showing that he's got white hair, but we'll do it like that. Now for the bottom color, you do want to keep it white, so I'll say something like that. And then the same shade, probably 99. The saturation this time will lower it to around 10, right? And then in terms of the shading, we'll bring it around here. So the tip of his hair is still like, it will be like a bit white, right? But we do have a little bit of tint at the top, you know, just to show off the hair color. Actually, we'll lower this to around 80. And that should be fine. If you want to argue about me changing his hair color, we can. You know, it shows that it's gray at some point, but you know, I'm just going by what the anime is showing us, and it's gray with a hint of pink to it. So we'll just go ahead and lower this, probably like that, right? I think that's good. All right. Moving on to the face. So this one you could argue would be one of the most difficult part. Apologies, I'm taking a little bit longer due to going through the material here, but let's go with this one to find out the shape of his face. So in this case, you can see that he does have a bit of cheek, I guess. His face isn't long, so we'll go ahead and minimize that right away. In terms of if his face is wide or thin, I would say it's neither. We'll just leave it a bit there. For the nose, they like using the third nose, which is, you know, like the anime nose. So we'll just keep it like that right away. So for the cheekbones, let's see what happens if you make it wider and thinner. I would say he does have cheekbones, right? Probably around, probably like there. Now for the lower jaw, right, you can see the design of his chin. You can see there is a bit of shape, right? So I would argue that it's something like this, right? Now, obviously, his chin's a little large right now, but obviously we can alleviate that issue pretty soon. Now for the oh, there you go, the chin. So obviously he doesn't have a big chin, right? Something around here perhaps, and it's not a sharp chin. So we'll widen it a little bit. There you go. Now front and back, keep it as it is. The lower cheeks, this is where the shape of it comes from, right there. Obviously you don't want to make him look too big because he isn't actually fat, right? So if you're not sure how to do it, you just go around in a circle, see how it changes the character's face, and then after that you just try to adapt. So in this case, I would say that it's probably around here actually. Yep, somewhere around there. Yep, it's kind of replicating that angle from here, right? This kind of like this angle a little bit, right? So I think that's good. Now for the lower jaw, I would say that there's not really a need to change it, right? You can if you want, but this is just to widen his it's to widen his face a little bit, right? So I think that's a good choice. His face isn't actually thin, so, and then the lower lip, this is mainly this part here. So we could add a bit more curve to his chin, right? Let's see. No, I think it's fine to leave it a little bit, you know, moved, but try not to mess up the chin too much, right? And I think we're good in terms of the shape. Now, the eyes. This is the most important part, obviously. So first, the color. We'll make it brighter, right? His hair is more, so lower the saturation. Make it a bit darker, right? There you go. That should be the eyebrows pretty much done. Now the eye shape is obviously the most important part here. So one of the things you can do is, you know, go through each of them to see which one looks like him the most. But I would take a look at other sources first to see, you know, his most popular, you know, facial expression, for example. But for the most part, you can see that it's normally, you know, he's not, you know, he's always normally pretty serious. And obviously there's sometimes the, you know, comedic and stuff. But for the most part, you know, he is pretty serious. So we'll go ahead and keep this as our reference point. So in this case, we're trying to look for small eyes, right? Now, this one is a good contender, but it's not angry enough, if you know what I mean. This one's even worse. That one's too thick, you know. So this one's pretty good, right? You could argue that it works. It is a little large, however, in terms of his eyes. This one's a bit too droopy. Again, this one's pretty seems pretty sad. I mean, I can use it if I've got no other choice. That one's a bit too slanted. Okay, so this one seems okay, but the end of his eye doesn't seem correct. Okay, so I'm not gonna cut this part because I do want you guys to see like how I try to decide the eyes. But so far, you know, there's not really a good option of the eyes that is slanted and has like at least a similar likeness to his actual eye shape in the anime. But I think I found one. I think this one is as good as it gets in my opinion. So now we're gonna adjust his eye, adjust the eyes, right? So either go up or down. In this case, I would say probably around here, right? Because we need to simulate the fact that his hair is long enough to be able to cover his eyes. So in this case, we brought it up so that this fringe would have that capability. In terms of eye distance, I think it's good. Yes, it's good enough. So we'll go and undo that. Now, sunken eyes is personal preference, really. If you want the eyes to go back or not, it's kind of hard to tell if the eyes go back or not because you're referencing from an anime. So you can go ahead and keep that to personal preference. Now, for this part, we can take a look at how they normally reflect his eyes, and you can see it's normally reflected on the right side. So we're gonna go ahead and, well, we could actually keep as is, right? Because normally the eyes are pretty difficult to shape, but for the purpose of this video, I will change it for you. And for the most part, it's this one because it's still a horizontal lighting, right? It's not slanted like this. So we'll go ahead and change to that. As you can see, you see how it like caused issues there, but you know, don't worry. So make the eyes very small. It's the only way to be able to do this anyway. Make it as small as you can, but obviously, as you can see, you can't make it small enough. Hajime's eyes is not as round, right? But it's not too rectangular either, right? Not too narrow either. So we need to fix the pupillary distance, right? So this one you just have to gauge so it doesn't look like they're, you know, cross-eyed or anything. And try not to make it look like they're, you know, that the eyes are separated. And I think we've balanced it out. And then now it's really up or down. And then try to replicate it like how it looks like. So you can see the bottom half of the eye, as you can see up there. Now let's take a look at the enhanced eye. So this is essentially the design of his eyes. So if you go take a look at how they normally design his eyes, let's see if you can zoom in here. Yeah, so he does have like a design. Well, not like, it's not too designed, right? As you can see, it's like pretty plain, and it's got like a bit of brightness at the bottom. And the first thing that came to mind out of all of these is this one. So let's go ahead and zoom in, where it's got like that bright at the bottom. Now the bright at the bottom is a bit too large, so we'll see how it goes for now. So we're going to start off with the okay, so this is the top part of the eye, so we'll make this dark red. This is the main brunt of it, so we'll make this dark red as well. Make this fully red and then darken it. Make it a bit brighter, so make it 30 in this case. And then for the last part, so they still want it kind of red. Increase the brightness perhaps, and then something like this. So we'll leave it like this for now, right? You know, it's a bit on the more difficult side as the area here is a bit too large, but I think for the most part it's pretty decent enough, I think. So I mean, let's double check anyway. So we check the next eye. It's like this, so you can just undo. I guess my next option would be this one. Nope, that's too bright. This one, that's too bright. The dot one does make sense, right? But you know, it's a bit too clean. What about this other dot one? There's potential. It depends on how this part is changed. Okay, that actually does kind of make sense. So let's go ahead and keep going with this. Okay, and then this one, yep. Make it kind of dark red. And then this bit here, again, make it red. And then lower the saturation. Okay, this one does work as well. Obviously, we're having the similar issues here. There you go. Instead of making it the brightest, we'll make it a shade higher whilst keeping it fully red. Oh wait, are we done with the eyes? Hold on. Yeah, so pretty much done with the eyes. So this last bit here, it doesn't really this is for other eyes, but we'll keep it white obviously for obvious reasons. Now for the nose, it's pretty much up to you on how you want to design this one. I think in this case I don't think it matters too much, but from the looks of it, we should bring the nose down a little bit. In terms of the width, it doesn't really, it doesn't really change anything. Whether it goes forward or back, that's pretty much up to you. You'll make it a little bit bigger. And then for the nose bridge, that's good enough. Now for the mouth, obviously we're gonna make him a bit more. Gonna make him a bit more. Not really sad, but you know, slightly angry. In terms of the positioning of his mouth, it seems good enough, so we'll leave it there. Now for any markings, I don't recall if he has any markings on his face, but so we'll leave it as it is. And for the finishing touches, obviously, is the accessory, the eye patch. So I think that's about it in terms of my Hajime Nagumo. Let's see. Yeah, that's the smallest it can get. In terms of up and down, there you go. I've brought it up mainly because you don't really see his eyebrows. So I think that's about it, really. That's about it for my Hajime Nagumo. So we're gonna go ahead and save it now. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. Hopefully the requester is happy with how he turned out. So we'll go ahead and complete. Save and use this look. Now let's go to the lobby and take a look at the code. Well, in any case, this is his this is the code. We just hit 10 million creations. That's pretty crazy. Anyways, it's 100,78827. But yeah, that is my end result for Hajime Nagumo. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. If you got any anything to say in regards to this video, or other questions regarding how to create, or if you got any requests, you can put it down here as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Apologies if it took a bit too long to make, but hopefully it helped you out, or at least entertained you in some way. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.